Hi guys, continuing with our adjectives chapter. Today we're going to study adjectives that compare and the use of the words more and more. So, if we want to compare two nouns or pronouns using adjectives, we add ER at most adjectives, okay, when we want to compare them, and we add EST when we want to compare more than two nouns or pronouns. So for two nouns, ER, for more than two nouns, EST. Now, how do we add this ER and EST? We need to follow some rules. So let's see this chart below. For most adjectives, you just add the two letters or the three letters, ER or EST, okay? For example, short, it's an adjective. You get shorter or shortest. Shorter for two nouns or pronouns, shortest for more than two nouns. Now, if the adjective ends with letter E at the end, okay, you drop that final E and then you add the ER or EST so you don't get double E's. For example, true. If we add here directly ER, we will get TRUEER, okay? But we don't want that, so we drop the final E and we add ER and we get truer. And if we are going to add EST, we get truest. For adjectives that end with a consonant and letter Y, we change the Y to I and then we add ER or EST. For example, happy. The happy ends with a Y and a consonant, so we replace the Y for an I, okay? And then we add ER, we get happier. Or if we add EST, we get happiest. Again, happier for two nouns, comparing two nouns or pronouns, and happiest if you're going to compare more than two nouns or pronouns. For adjectives with one syllable that end with a single vowel and a consonant, we double the final consonant and then add the ER or EST. For example, the adjective wet, it's one syllable, okay? It ends with a consonant and a vowel. Then we double the consonant, that is that we double the letter T, and then we add ER or EST. So we get wetter or wettest. Some examples. Tell the correct comparing adjective. Number one, the of the two boys wears a goblin mask. We have taller and taller. In this sentence, we're comparing two things, two nouns, okay, two boys. So we take the one ending with ER. The taller of the two boys wears a goblin mask. Number two, my costume is than yours. We're comparing my costume to yours. Two things. So again, we choose the adjective ending in ER. So in this case, we have warmer and warmest. We take warmer. My costume is warmer than yours. 3. Gabe reminds us of the soldier in the world. So we have braver and bravest. We're comparing one soldier with all the soldiers in the world. So we have to take the one ending in EST. Gabe reminds us of the bravest soldier in the world. 4. The girl in the butterfly outfit has the costume of all. So we're comparing the costume of the girl in the butterfly outfit, okay, with all of the costumes. So again, we have to take the one that ends with EST. We have prettier and prettiest, so we use prettiest. The girl in the butterfly outfit has the prettiest costume of all. Number 5, the parrot costume is than mine. We're comparing the parrot costume with mine, two things. So in this case, we take the one ending with ER. We have brighter and brightest, we take brighter. The parrot costume is brighter than mine. Now, if we're comparing with more and most, we have to take some things into account. Let's check. With some adjectives that have two or more syllables, you add ER and EST. With others, you use more and most to make adjective comparisons. Never use more or most combined with er or est. Okay? Use more to compare to nouns. Use most to compare more than to nouns. Okay? For example, Mount Whitney is more bigger than Mount Shasta. Is that okay? No. Why? Because we're combining more, okay, with the adding of er to the adjective. And we read before that says never use more or most combined with the er or est form of the adjective. So this sentence is incorrect. Now let's check sentence number 2. Mount Whitney is bigger than Mount Shasta. Okay, we are comparing two nouns and we are using an adjective with er. Very good, that's okay. So the sentence is correct. Mount Whitney is the most biggest mountain in California. Bam. Again, we're comparing most with the use of est at the end of the adjective. This is incorrect. And number 4, Mount Whitney is the biggest mountain in California. We're comparing Mount Whitney with all the mountains in California. So we have to use the adjective ending in est. So this is correct. And we are not using more or most, okay? So let's see some exercises. Complete the sentence with the correct form of the adjective in parentheses. Number 1, your costume is made of material than mine. And we have the adjective thin. In this case, we're comparing your costume to mine, two things. So we need to add er. But this adjective, okay, it's a one-syllable adjective, ends in a consonant and a vowel. So we need to double the consonant and then add the er. So we get thinner. Your costume is made of thinner material than mine. Number 2, choose a piece of cardboard and that one for a shield. And the adjective is white. Okay, so we're comparing two pieces of cardboard, okay? So we need to put er at the end. We drop the final e and we get whiter. Choose a whiter piece of cardboard than that one for a shield. Number 3, you can paint a bold is the adjective, design than mine on your shield. Okay, we're comparing two designs. Okay, so we need to add er, and in this case, we just add the er as it is because it's ending. It doesn't have a special ending according to the chart we studied before. So we have bolder. You can paint a bolder design than mine on your shield. Number 4, the lamp of all will dry paint in 10 minutes, and the adjective is hot. We're comparing one lamp with all of the lamps, so we need to add est. Here we have a one-syllable adjective, okay, that ends with a consonant and a vowel. So we need to double the consonant, in this case the t, and add est. Okay, so we get hottest. Number 5, put the pumpkin on the shelf of all. We're comparing one shelf with all of the shelves, and the adjective is high. We need to add est. In this case, we have highest. Put the pumpkin on the highest shelf of all. Number 6, Tom's jack-o'-lantern has the expression of all. We're comparing one expression with all of the expressions. And the adjective is angry. It ends with a y and a consonant, so we need to replace the y for an I and then add est. You get angriest. Tom's jack-o'-lantern has the angriest expression of all. Number 7, Martha's costume is than Jean's, and the adjective is simple. We're comparing Martha's costume to Jean's costume, so two things. We need to add er. Okay, in this case, we need to drop the final e and then add the er, and we get simpler. Martha's costume is simpler than Jean. Number 8, this costume party is than last year's, and the adjective is scary. Well, we are comparing the costume party, this year's costume party, with last year's. Okay, two parties. So we need to add er, but here we have an adjective that ends in y, so we need to change y for I and then add er. Okay, so we get scarier. The costume party is scarier than last year's. Number 9, Myra's costume is the of all. We're comparing her costume with all of the costumes. So we need to add est, and the adjective is strange. And in letter E, we need to drop the E and add est. Strangest. Myra's costume is the strangest of all. Number 10, she wears the hat I have ever seen. And the adjective is odd. I'm comparing her hat with all of the hats I have seen. So we need to add est. In this case, we get oddest. We simply add est. She wears the oddest hat I ever seen. Number 11, Laura's costume is than mine. And the adjective is not. We're comparing two costumes, Laura's and mine, okay? So we need to add er. But here we have a one-syllable adjective, okay, that ends with a consonant and a vowel, so we need to double the consonant. And we get snugger. Laura's costume is snugger than mine. Number 12, the outfit of all belongs to Robert, and the adjective is funny. We're comparing one outfit with all of the outfits. So we need to add est, so we change y to I, and we get funniest. The funniest outfit of all belongs to Robert. Number 13, he is dressed as the pumpkin in the world. So in this case, we're comparing how he's dressed as a pumpkin with all the pumpkins in the world. So we need to add est. In this case, we have an adjective that ends with letter E. So we need to drop the E and add the est. We get hugest, sorry. He is dressed as the hugest pumpkin in the world. Number 14, our door is than his costume. So we're comparing our door with his costume, two things, and we need to add er, so we get narrower. Our door is narrower than his costume. Number 15, next year he will wear a outfit than that one. We're comparing next year's outfit with this one. So we're comparing two things. We need to add er, and in this case, we just added, okay? And we get smaller. Next year, he will wear a smaller outfit than that one. Now, write the correct form of each adjective to compare two and more than two nouns. In this case, all of these adjectives here use the words more and most. Okay, so this is something to get getting you familiarized with adjectives that use more and most. For example, you never say frequenter or frequentest. You say more frequent or most frequent. You don't say imaginativer or I cannot even say it. Imaginativist. No, you say more imaginative or most imaginative. You also don't say tenderer or tenderest. You say more tender or most tender. Most careful and more careful. More and most careful. More courageous and most courageous. More silent or most silent. More helpful, most helpful. More serious, most serious. More plentiful, most plentiful. And more enjoyable, most enjoyable. So this is a matter of practice, guys. Now, we need to complete the sentences using the correct form of the adjective in parentheses. Again, here we have adjectives that use more and most. So we say sentence number 1, the landscapes in this country are found in the West. So we're comparing the West landscapes with all the landscapes in the country. So we need to use the word most. We're comparing more than two. So we say most glorious. Number 2, Arizona has scenery than my home state. So we're comparing Arizona scenery with my home state scenery. So we use the word more beautiful. Number 3, the Grand Canyon is the place in the country. We are comparing the Grand Canyon with all of the places in the country, and the adjective is amazing, so we use most amazing. The Grand Canyon is the most amazing place in the country. Number 4, it is one of the canyons in the world. We're comparing the canyon with all the canyons in the world. The adjective is spectacular, so we use the word most, and we say most spectacular. Number 6, the Havasu Canyon is even than the Grand Canyon. We're comparing two canyons, so we use the word more. And the adjective is remote, so we say more remote. Now, number 6, the Sonora Desert looks like the land in the west, and rugged is the adjective. So we're comparing the land of the Sonora Desert with all the lands in the west, so we use the word most rugged land in the west. Okay, so remember guys, add ER to most adjectives to compare two nouns or pronouns. Add EST to most adjectives to compare more than two nouns or pronouns. Use more to form a comparison between two nouns, or most to form a comparison when you have more than two nouns. Be sure to complete your weekly homework. Here's the link, and also in Academia's book. So see you next week, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.